How's your week growing, retro people? My name is Brad, this is Retro Style Spotlight, and this is your news, notes, history, and retro games to play for the week of February 23rd, 2016. This week's tutorial on Unbroken Software Studios' YouTube channel was TurboGrafx 16 and CD on Retroarch and PC Engine. Subscribe to the channel if you've been missing these tutorials and need help in configuring your setup. Don't forget that LaunchBox has a premium license as well that you can purchase for extra functionality and Big Box, our media PC styled front end. This week debuts a news segment in RSS titled Spectacular Emulation News. Last week I talked about retroachievements.org and that you can get a specialized emulator to get retro achievements. Well, after that episode went live, I found that the latest Retroarch version has a retroachievement.org support already provided. Just create your account and log in from Retroarch. You'll start earning achievements that you can view on their website. Also, there are two major emulator updates to note. PPSSPP has a new stable version at 1.2.1, and EPSXE has a new 2.0 version, and the updates are really awesome. Update these emulators ASAP. Links to their patch notes will be in the description below. This news piece comes from dailycaller.com, but the article states that oil prices are now a Russian video game. This reminds me of the FBI game that they created and the video game for the US Army. I guess if these governments want their message out nowadays, video games can be their best avenue. So who do you work for? Oh, I make video games as a government contractor. Daily Caller reads, the Russian news website RUS or Rus2Web is spreading awareness about the country's reliance on high oil prices by making it into a retro video game. The game explicitly states that current oil prices are too low to support Russia's government budget, economy, and the strength of the Russian ruble. Any score below $90 a barrel is explicitly stated to be a disaster for the Russian government. A score of $110 a barrel states too suspicious, it's a dream, it's time to wake up. All I know is that the price of oil per barrel in America is so low that gas is under $2 a gallon. I've literally not seen this since I was a kid. Wow. Many companies through the years have prototype games that never see the light of day. In some cases, like Star Fox 2, the game is damn near complete and still gets cancelled. In this case, thankfully Sega didn't get that far into development, however, they still had a prototype of a game based on Bubble Bobble with Bubble Bobble's creator on board. The game would see their blue blur in a very different type of game that he's used to, and that is the arcade puzzle genre. The puzzling thing about this story, and pun intended, is that most prototypes and games get covered in magazines, at least at that time, or is even playable at trade shows and sometimes even reviewed in these magazines. This game never saw any light of day until recently, after 25 years of virtually being undiscoverable. The Japanese arcade collector Showtime, who is prolific in finding hard to find or previously unheard of arcade boards, now has the arcade board in his collection. He has released screenshots of what you can see now, and it is unclear if he intends to release the ROM of the game, but keeping in line with previous news stories covered here on RSS, I hope that he does. Even unreleased games deserve to be preserved and have the hard work that went into them praised and admired. Speaking of unreleased games, unlike the previous news entry about a prototype game, this one was pretty much finished and then cancelled. Saints Row Undercover was in development by developer Volition, and the game was in a playable state and still cancelled for not meeting expectations. N64 and Volition have come together to release this for everyone. The link to this game will be in the description below, and you can play the game on PPSSPP. If you need help setting up this emulator, the link to the tutorial will be in the description below to help you set up that system within LaunchBox. Over time, retro video game consoles become increasingly hard to keep around as technology advances. Either the system starts to fail, CRT TVs start to fail, or the high-end professional-grade CRTs, PVMs, start going for crazy amounts of money. Personally, I love the series from My Life in Gaming about how to mod your console for updated, crisp visuals. They have a series called RGB 101 on their YouTube channel that you can go ahead and check out if you are interested in getting your consoles updated for HD TVs and making them look spectacular. Otherwise, there are some alternatives that might be a little bit more cost effective. Previously, someone created a modification for the N64 which gave it HDMI out. Called Ultra HDMI, it is a board that does exactly what I said, gives you HDMI out to your TV with a cleaned up image. Now, there is another HDMI modification out there, but this time it is for the N64's younger brother, the GameCube. Wow, it is really hard to think that the GameCube is now retro. Dear God. Called GC Video, this board offers GameCube owners to crisply display their GameCube at 240 or 480p on new HD TVs. The FPGA board design was developed after long deliberations and it is available for users to try, sitting proudly in the console as a replacement for the digital out port and provides a simple analog to digital conversion. The kit also comes equipped with a custom menu so that you can customize any of the video settings to your liking. Currently, you cannot purchase the board outright, but you can install it yourself. You will need to develop the board almost completely from scratch with the specifications. However, there are users out there who are providing a service to build and install the board for you. It doesn't run cheap, but if you are seriously into the GameCube and had one around when you were in middle school and high school like I did, then it might be worth the cost. This month in 1999, New World Computing and the 3DO company released Heroes of Might and Magic 3. The gameplay is very similar to its predecessors in that the player controls a number of heroes that command an army of creatures inspired by myth and legend. The gameplay is divided into two parts: tactical overland exploration and a turn-based combat system. Heroes 3 was released to universal acclaim and was praised by critics. The game received expansion packs Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Armageddon's Blade, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3, The Shadow of Death. This week's retro translation comes to us from romhacking.net. Magical Vacation is the first RPG that Brownie Brown, now known as 1UP Studios of Mother 3 fame, worked on. It had a spiritual successor, Magical Star Sign, on the Nintendo DS that was localized, but unfortunately, Magical Vacation never managed to leave Japan. The first draft of the script is complete. Item and spell names are also translated, and text display is mostly hacked for dialogue, menu, and battles, but still is uncompleted. Lots of work still needs to be done on positioning text in the menus and battle screen. Also, the name selection and the opening and ending cutscenes still need to be hacked. Expect to see the translation patch released sometime in June of 2016. This week's retro game suggestion comes from the LaunchBox Steam group, of which I curate awesome retro games that you can purchase on Steam for a good price. Airline Tycoon Deluxe is a funny economy simulation proceeding in real time and assigning you the complete responsibility for an airline. Similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon, which was suggested a few weeks ago, you run an airline in an airport. With lots of hidden secrets, Easter eggs, and multiple ways to play the game, this Tycoon has a lot of heart and care put into it. I grew up with this game as well, and I can easily suggest this game even in 2016. Tycoon games for me never get old, and they seem to have gone away in favor of sim games like American Truck Simulator. Pick this game up on Steam for $9.99, or wait for it to go on sale, which it does from time to time. There is a sequel that came out a few years ago, but this one seems to lack the heart of the original. So that was Retro Style Spotlight for the week of February 23rd, 2016. All of the relevant links to everything you heard in this edition of RSS will be in the description below. Remember, you can sign up for a LaunchBox forum account to talk with us over there, join our Steam group to see what we're all playing, and maybe play a game or two with us there. If you like LaunchBox and its major retro game collection look beautiful, then please pick up a premium license for $20 on our website. You get extra features like big box mode, theming options, and tons more features to come in the future. Jason and I have a lot planned for our community, so if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're doing a tutorial video every Friday and more entertainment type shows like this in the future. Let us know what you think of RSS and any feedback you may have on it. My name is Brad, and remember, Freaks and Geeks, to play more games, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.